G'day guys, welcome back to the Leagues Club podcast. We're getting into round 9. We just had round 8, obviously, and we're going to get started with Magic Round. But before we get into Magic Round, let's recap how we did last week. We'll start off with me first. Sea Eagles, we had the 19.5 points. We got there. They ended up with 26 points. They also got the win against Penrith, the stinky Penrith Panthers, who only scored 10 points. How about you, Smythe? How'd you go, mate?
Right, yeah, the Panthers, buddy, they're gone. Bottom of the ladder. It's the heroes have gone to the zeros.
Bit like your ladder, bit like the ladder this week, mate.
Yeah, we won't go there just yet. I just wanted to touch on Broncos v Bulldogs. That was another fucking cracker of a game. An upset with the Broncos absolutely smashing them. Adam Reynolds, he was on fire. He even looked like he dislocated his shoulder or something, but somehow kept playing. His kicking game is insane. But four sin bins in that game. The whole round, there was 18 sin bins throughout the whole round. They're obviously still
Was it
continuing.
every game? Was it every game? Did we get one every game this week?
There's one every game, at least one every game. So the NRL's continuing their crackdown on all the head high stuff. So like if you sneeze in someone's direction, you're fucking 10 in the bin, right? Now we're running through this before we hit record, but we need to find a bookmaker who's going to give us the market for sin bins. Because how good would that be if we could start? But yeah, as you said before, Smifeys Ladder. We fell off the ladder. We had Storm at -2.5 at half time. They ended up to go on to win the game, but it was 10-all at half time. So it's quite upsetting. But what do? You just pick yourself up and you climb that first rung again. So this week we've got Broncos money line over the Panthers, and we're getting that for $1.66, which I reckon's fucking. That's where the money's at this round. That's on Sunday. So yeah, strap in for that, and we'll see if we can start climbing again.
So maybe we just explain if there's people out there that are new to betting rugby league. Magic Round is a special round they play every year, which all the games are at the one stadium for the whole weekend. So every single game, at the one stadium after each other. Some of these Queensland teams are playing in their home stadium, and they're away teams on the in the sports books. So just be mindful of that. There's no home and away advantages except Queensland teams this weekend. So just remember that. But what Magic Round is.
That's the interesting thing, because it's a Panthers home game technically, but it's played at Suncorp Stadium, which is Brisbane's home ground. So they're obviously going to have the advantage there, and they just. If you compare those two sides, I don't know how we're getting $1.66 for them, because
it doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all, especially after watching. The only good performance that Penrith have really put in is the one against the Roosters. Every other game they've played has been shocking. Like gaps everywhere, players not picking up who they're meant to pick up. Just they don't look like the Panthers right now. Even Dylan Edwards doesn't look like himself after coming back from the injury. Like, I thought he was going to make a huge difference. He did in the Roosters game, but not against Manly last week. So, So moving on to my game, I've decided to go with the West Tigers Dragons game on Saturday night. It's the main game for Saturday. We've got the Tigers slightly edged as favourites. They're half-point favourites. We're looking at a 46.5 total. So, we could be expecting some points in this game. Both team totals are at 22.5. So, these teams are being closely matched. I don't see it, but I don't know what the bookies are looking at that I'm not seeing. But the Tigers haven't made any changes to their team. Dragons have got a couple players coming in. No big key ins and outs. I looked at different ways to take this game. The basic way to take this would be the money line. You can get that at $1.87 minus 115. So, that was the look I'm going for, but I'm trying to get a bit of plus money value here. The line is minus a point, and there's no value. It's minus 118. It's less than the money line. That doesn't make sense to me. I had a look in the book. You can get an West Tigers money line, alternate line at minus 2.5 points at $2.17. So plus 117. I got those at on Sportsbet. So have a shop around, see what you can get. Obviously, if you can't get that alt line, take the line. But if you can get better value on the money line, obviously take that. Right now, the money line's got the better value. But, St. George haven't played any away games this year. All their games have been in Sydney. The furthest they've probably had to travel to play would be Manly or Parramatta. All the games have been in Sydney. They're travelling up to Brisbane. The boys haven't been away. They're probably going to get up to a bit of mischief. Everyone's there. Whereas the West Tigers, the whole club right now is under the microscope. Everything they do is talked about, the whole Lockie Galvin, all that stuff. So those guys are going to be on their best behaviour. I think that this is just ridiculous that they're so close. I don't see it at all, like I said earlier. So yeah, I've taken the alt line minus 2.5 points for the West Tigers. So that's my play this week. Late mails. We had a few hits on the late mail this week. We did miss on the try scorers again. It is very hard to pick the try scorers, but there's definitely going to be a lot of games on this week that will be hitting out some late mails. I think I'm going to like the Canberra game at the end of the week. That's probably going to be a game I'm looking forward to. That's the last one. That's your boys against the Raiders. What about you,
I think there'll
Smife?
be
You
a
got
lot of
anything?
tries in that game. There'll be a lot
I
of
think it's going
tries
to
in
be
that
action
Storm
packed.
game.
Yeah.
Mate, they're all good matchups this week. I like the Roosters and Dolphins, and the Warriors v Cowboys. I think that'll be a good game.
Yeah, I like that.
Also, I'm in a hotel room in Tamworth. I'm not on the set of a 70s porno. I know it looks that
Yeah,
way.
it's like, you're in one of those hotels where they drill the picture frames to the walls so no one steals the pictures and stuff. That's
Pretty much.
that's what.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I've
I love
definitely got the
that.
door dead bolted. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Leagues Club podcast. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can stay up to date. Get all that late mail over the weekend because it's going to be another great round of football. But that's it, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you.